Hey guys, so I'm sick as a dog, so it's not a day for me to be on camera. But I thought, why not go through one of my main Blu-ray shelves and just kind of pick out some favorites of my collection and talk about them, where I got them kind of thing, and just my thoughts on the movies. So, no telling how much we're going to go through, but let's just kind of go over here and get started. Up here is mostly like Scream Factories, and some of the ones that stick out right off the top are Cat People. I'm a really big fan of Cat People. Really cool movie. Natasha Kinski is really great in this movie. She has like really seductive eyes, and some of the gore really kind of took me back. I wasn't expecting that in this movie. And then of course Malcolm McDowell's in here. He's really great. Some other ones that really stick out is like Piranha 2: The Spawning. I was not expecting to like this movie as much as I did. I wasn't expecting it to be as, quite frankly, like as good as a movie. It's actually a pretty well-made film. Funny thing, I think that James Cameron was fired on this movie after a couple weeks, so that's pretty funny. Here's another one I really like, Once Bitten, which is a Jim Carrey film. It's like a vampire comedy. I like Love at First Bite too, but this movie's really great. Once Bitten, I liked it a lot. So let's see what we have on the next one. Up here's one of my favorite Stephen King films. Graveyard Shift is really fun. It's a great way to start the 90s. You got Brad Dourif in here, and he pretty much steals the show in everything he does, so he's great in that. Here's Ghost Story. I really like Ghost Story 2. Really fun little movie. It's better in the first half than the second half, but I think the first half's just really good. Good stuff. Murders in the Rue Morgue is one of the old movies that I really love. It's actually really good. Big Bela Lugosi fan, excuse me. So yeah, check that out. Then you got, of course, the Poughkeepsie tapes, which is another one of my favorites. Probably one of the scariest movies I ever saw. Big fan of that. Next up, of course, you know, things like right here, like Serpent in the Rainbow, obviously, is a great Wes Craven flick. Love it. Really scary film. Makes me never want to travel or ever have to be put in a coffin. That'd be horrifying. Another one I really liked that I wasn't expecting to like so much was Road Games. It's actually a really good movie. I was not expecting to be as big of a fan of it as I was. It's probably my favorite Jamie Lee Curtis film, besides, you know, maybe True Lies or something. Like, this was a really good movie. I really liked it. And of course, you've got movies like Tales from the Hood, which, you know, are really, really good. I love Tales from the Hood. Let's see. Big fan of King Kong, guys. Like, I was really excited when this got announced. I love King Kong a lot, so that was really fun. Big fan of Scanners 3, The Takeover. I like it more than Scanners 2, quite frankly. Oh, of course, you can't not talk about Class of 1984. That movie's really good. I love it a lot. Really, really good movie. That's a great one to own from Scream Factory if you don't own it already. And then one of the best, man, is Firestarter. I actually think this is a great Stephen King film with Drew Barrymore. She's really good in this, and then George C. Scott's in here, so you can never really go wrong with George C. Scott. So he's great in this. Let's see, what do we have next? You can never go wrong with Tales from the Crypt. Here's Demon Knight. It's a great one. I also have the other one too, but I can't remember where I put it. This is one of my favorites of all time. It's by Joe Dante. It's called Matinee. It's a movie about horror movies with John Goodman in it, and it's really, really good. I know it says Shout Select, but this is like a movie that horror fans would really appreciate. The motion picture of the year, Mant. Definitely get this, guys. Like I said, it's a Shout movie, but a horror fan would love this movie. I promise you. It's called Matinee. Definitely get your hands on that. It's really good. And of course, here's like another one that I really love. 10 to Midnight. Can't go wrong with 10 to Midnight. Here's some of the steelbooks I have for Scream Factory, but real quick, of course, I can't not mention The Dead Zone. Loved The Dead Zone. One of my favorites. In terms of some of these steelbooks, I gotta say that some of my favorites are probably Motel Hell. That's a great looking one. I love Life Force too. Life Force is a great one. I thought I had what's that movie? Humanoids for the Deep. I thought I had that. Maybe I don't. Or maybe it's lost in the shuffle somewhere. If not, I need to get Humanoids from the Deep. But moving along. It's where we get to kind of like the Blue Underground section. Obviously, I can't ever go wrong with Zombie. It's one of my favorite movies ever. Got some good stuff here. I really wanted to like this movie. It's not bad, but it's not great, but the music's great in it. Slaughterhouse Rock has some great music in it, so that's good stuff. Here's some of my Warner archives. Obviously, some of the classics here are Wolfen, and then you get movies like The Hidden that are really good. Don't Be Afraid of the Dark is a really cool little TV movie. It's good stuff. And then another horror anthology, From Beyond the Grave's good. That's good stuff. Let me put this down. I love this movie. It's really crappy, but it's funny. Doom Asylum. The Slayers, a little neat little slasher film. I like that. Obviously, The Stuff is classic from Larry Cohen. Good stuff from there. Then you've got Necromantics. Those are really fun. This is kind of where some of my arrows are, but I have multiple arrows. Huge Vamp fan. Love Vamp. It's great. Chud. It's a great little creature feature. I love Chud. John Goodman's in that too. Videodrome's a classic. Love Videodrome. The Wind. I remember I reviewed that not too terribly long ago. Maybe it's been a year now. I don't know. Some time's going by. It's kind of sticking to this steelbook though. The Wind's a pretty cool little film, little slasher film. One of the best movies ever that I always tell people that you have to see it. Evil Ed is really quite simply just amazing. It's one of the greatest films I've ever seen. I got the Spiral 4K. Thank you, Johnny, sending me this Spiral. My parents turned it off. They said they couldn't watch it because they thought it was disgusting. I was quite shocking because I was like, it's not even halfway the worst one in terms of gore. Let's see what we have here. Offerings is a funny little flick. Massacre at Central High is a really good movie. And then you've got Monster Dog. It's a Alice Cooper film that I really like. One Dark Night, which is Tom McLaughlin. Really cool. The Boogans. Really big fan of the Boogans. This is a neat little creature feature. I like the Boogans a lot. So, can't go wrong with The Beyond right here. Great Lucio Fulci film, obviously. Monster Squad's one of my all-time favorites. The Guest is such a good movie. If you haven't seen The Guest, guys, this movie is so good. Really good. Fright Night Part 2. So, I know everything's kind of out of order. It just got nuts, and I haven't been able to keep up with it, but I kind of just know where everything's at. 976 Evil's classic. Big fan of that movie. The Beast Must Die. Now, this is a really cool psychedelic kind of wolf movie. Peter Cushing's in it. I really like that. This is kind of like the Full Moon section. These are all Full Moon movies. Obviously, some of the ones that stick out right here are like Trancers is great. The Creeps, Deformed Monsters is a funny, sleazy little movie. You've got movies like Larking Fear, which is really great. Ashley Lawrence is in that. She's great. Head of the Family is just gross and funny. I think I was watching Part 6 the other day for Friday the 13th. So, what else we got? Oh, here's a cool one. Mr. Jones is a movie I really like. This is a found footage film that's really entertaining. Really like that one. Oh, here's one that I just bought not long ago and I loved it. It's called The Company of Wolves. What a really cool wolf movie. It's kind of like a Little Red Riding Hood film. It's a Canon picture, and it's done by, let's see who directed this. Neil Jordan. Neil Jordan sent some crazy stuff. This is a good movie, The Company of Wolves. Definitely get your hands on that. I think it's only got that Region B Blu-ray, but it's good. These are kind of where just random Blu-rays start showing up. This was a cool Blu-ray. I remember when this came out, the 35th anniversary of Halloween. It's a media book, or a digibook, is whatever it's called. It's got pages in it and stuff. It's a really cool little release. God knows I got many Halloween releases. Demon Wind. Love Demon Wind. It's a fun little movie. Flatliners is cool. Kiefer Sutherland, Julia Roberts, Kevin Bacon. They literally, stop each other's heart rates and bring them back to life. And it's supposed to be like, got movies like Terror Train. This is the Code Red, I believe. It's got a better picture quality than the Scream Factory, so it's worth it to get that one. Mausoleum, obviously, you know, guys, I love the poster for that, so thankfully I like the movie too, you know. Let's see. And mostly just DVDs and stuff over here, so. A few box sets that I really like are like, obviously the Scarlet box set's one of my favorites. I've got the House 2 Stories, which is the American release, and then the UK release right there. This is the original Creepshow box set release. I bought that years ago. Children of the Corn is getting a Blu-ray set from Arrow for Region B of like Children of the Corn 1, 2, and 3. I'm probably going to grab that because big fan of Children of the Corn. That one gets a lot of hate, I see. And I don't. It's interesting. I'm a big Children of the Corn fan. Here's some movies I was watching lately. Obviously, I got my Return of the Living Deads right there. You know, I got to have those. The Burbs. Huge fan of The Burbs. It's such a funny movie. Again, it's one of those movies that I think horror fans just kind of adopt as one of their own, even though it's not really a horror movie. So, down here, like Synapse movies and things like that. Frankenhooker's obviously a great one, classic. Big fan of Tenebrae. Pretty much getting higher on my Dario list as of late. When I revisit that one, I'm always like, man, the blood in that one's crazy. So, yeah, just thought we'd go through some of the movies in the shelves, guys. If you see any that you want me to pull out and we could talk about more, I can. Big fan of some of these movies. I think I talked about this earlier. The Boogans is a fun little creature feature. So, yeah, guys. So again, I'm sick. I apologize. No regular video today. So I thought we'd vlog it up and just look at some of my Blu-rays in my collection. So let me know what you guys think and some of your favorites that you saw on the shelf that I never brought up, and we could talk about them in the comment section below. So I appreciate it, guys. This is Christian Hanna Horror. We'll see you guys next time.